It's the time for the package from China. Let's go. So what do I mean with the game changer? So like the previous one, it just comes in a basic white box. There was nothing special about it. It does come with a very nice instruction how everything works, how to set everything up. And it's like easy peasy lemon squeezy, and everything that you need to know is in here. What do I mean with the game changer? To begin with, like, this box is absolutely improved in many different ways. For the people familiar to the channel, the Super Console X lineup is a kind of a mess. It's a jungle, like the Pandora's box jungle. We have so many devices, but this thing brings something new to the table, especially when it comes to the casing itself. Okay, so this is the brand new version we have reviewed in the last years. We have reviewed all kinds of Super Console game boxes, but this thing is completely new. The shape is very nice. We do have like a black and translucent and like an ice color that's like semi like translucent. I really love like this thing, how it looks. It comes in a very nice fan at the top, like the previous one that have been soldered straight into the mainboard over here. They even use some hot glue, so when it comes to the teardown in this video, it's not necessary, of course, because we can already see what's in here. So we do have like all the RAM chips at the back and at the front. Later on we'll talk about like the specification list. So when you're looking over here how they made everything, they did a great job. Like they did like implement like a very tiny passive cooling block, but I think it's more than enough because we have an active cooling. But let's take a close look at the connections. At the front we're going to get ourselves like this old school display that we have seen before with Android boxes, because guess what? This thing is an Android box, or the base of it. On this side, we're going to get ourselves the USB 3.0 port, its SD card. There's 64, 128 and 256 gigabyte. And take consideration the bigger is not always better, simply because, yeah, the problem with that is that we do have like a lot of like game pack solutions, but not everything has been configured correctly. We do get an extra USB 2.0, and at the back we're going to get even some more ports. Okay, we're going to get ourselves the internet, the RG45, then we're going to get a jack out. We do have an HDMI out. We even have like an optical out, and of course the input for the power supply. There is no on and off switch. I understand there was like the previous one, like the first one with the S905 chip that has like an on and off switch. The X3 one didn't have one, and this one doesn't either have this one, because the Android boxes don't support it so far I understand. Let's say in gamble, sometimes you do get like okay ones. This one does feel very nice, but when you're hearing the buttons, it's absolutely like cheap garbage. And oh, this thing smells like freaking burnt plastic. Alright, so let's take a close look at the specifications. So this is the brand Chingo, the H and X3 type. So then we do have the chipset as the S905 X3. So I've seen it before in previous boxes. It's basically in quad core. RAM comes with 4 GB, storage capacity 32 GB, and of course we're having like different SD cards I talked about before. And of course we have Android 9 and Emulation 4.4. But how about the noise level with this RGB fan? Oh, by the way, the RGB cannot be turned off, if you're wondering. But what you can hear is like, it's not really loud. It's noticeable, but not really annoying. Okay, so let's take a close look at the menu itself. They're using the same skin that we have seen before. To be honest, I don't know exactly how this skin is called, but when you're looking at it, it looks very fancy. So first of all, like when it comes to, I mean, it's a really great piece of software that somebody else created basically. It's not something I want to point out. You can just download this for free, slap it on an Android box, and you can just do the same thing and only pay like maybe a fraction of the cost. So something I just want to point out. But the thing is, like when you're looking at the menu, I personally really love it. This one runs on 4.4 at the moment. I'm making this video. And when you're looking at the compatibility, especially when it comes to Sega Saturn, there are like some new like systems that are like implemented in this, and we do have so many cool things that we can play. But how does it run? That is more of the question, because we have seen it in the past that they show off like a lot of great things, but it runs like shit in the end. So let's grab some game systems that are mostly like not run it well, or will run not at all. But let's take a close look at those. Okay, so let's start off with Sega Saturn just to see how this runs. Okay, control seems to be working. I'm just going to be honest, like I tested out a lot of these devices, and in the past I've noticed like they didn't configure every single thing. So let's see how it will run. Let's choose one, play versus CPU, race start. So far so good. This is a three-dimensional racing game, so it's more demanding than the other stuff. What they're also like doing a lot of times, they're just slapping on like some two-dimensional stuff. Yeah, and two-dimensional stuff, if something runs okay, then it's like the two-dimensional stuff. Okay, so when you're looking at the overall performance, it's not bad at all, especially if you think about it. It isn't like a quite, let's say, on the powered box. It's interesting they can like manage to get a lot of these games to be working right. Don't mind the gameplay, I absolutely suck at this game, but maybe looking like a weird knockoff Wipeout game, but okay. But so far, so good. Alright, so that's not a good start. Where are my buttons? Oh, there they are. Okay, when progressing in the game, it will get a little bit better, but... So that makes me wonder, like, are they just using the wrong settings for this game, like a wrong emulator, or what's going on with this? Because you can, like, it runs now just fine. But here it goes again. But the main reason I just tried this game, I just wanted to see how it runs. But again, I think it's just some reconfiguration that's needed. Alright, so next up, let's try some N64. This will always be the system that doesn't run perfectly on the machine, but some games are playable. One of my favorite games I like to try out, Blast Cars. I play this game so much. So much fun to play. But also a great example, like how good it will run. You can already hear like it got some minor hiccups. But it's still playable. Yeah. Okay, so next up let's jump into PlayStation Portable. So one thing is for sure, is like these boxes cannot run God of War or the really demanding games. But I'm curious like how and what we're going to get. So we are running now at, let's see, 30 FPS. So this thing is able to run some casual games. But it will, notice here, you can see like when there's a lot of action going on, it dips back to the 20. So some two-dimensional games run just okay, but that's the main problem with these tiny game boxes. They are fun to play some PlayStation Portable games, but it's just too demanding. We need to have at least like a mini PC. And with mini PCs you can even like push them to, let's say, higher resolutions. I would not be surprised that this box even has some frame skipping enabled, that it even like doesn't run otherwise. But yeah, this is what you're going to get with the PlayStation Portable. But okay, so this is what we're going to get with the new version of the Super Console X series. Yeah, the controllers, don't get it, they're still giving you the shitty controllers. Like, this is not like the worst kind, but still like they're freaking chemical, and the chemical smell, yeah, it will get on your hands, and I don't know if this is going to be like a good idea. And overall they play okay, but I'm not going to use these crappy ones. So when it comes to the box, I personally really love the design. So take consideration, they do have like different formats when it comes to the packs. I don't trust these memory cards, as like backing up is not a bad thing when you're getting a device like this. The overall design is very compact, it is smaller than the previous one. It does an Android box, the S905X3 isn't capable, let's say, main board. It's still, let's say, affordable budget, and you can still play a lot of stuff on it, but it will have its limitations. What we will find in the future is of course something I'm very curious about. The only thing, the faster or the better box that we're going to get is the GTK, that comes with the S922X. But in overall, yeah, that box is absolutely crazy expensive, and I don't know if they're going to give it like a fancy casing like this. Well, thanks for watching, consider subscribing. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments, and it would be great to see you in the next video.